Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Coach's Corner. My name is Penny Hounsome. I'm a health and lifestyle coach, specifically working with women with their trauma. So, together with Coach Lisa Balston, we found this group and Lux Life Coaching and Retreats. So, for those of you who are new to the group and have come in the last couple of weeks and haven't seen any of our lives, we want to say a great big thank you to you, and we're super stoked that you're here and wanting to make a change this year in your health and wellness. And we are here to help you facilitate that and going forward and making big changes. So, today I want to talk about why we feel stuck and how to switch the mindset in order to stay consistent. And there's a lot that goes on in this, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, but it's fine. I can stay consistent. I'm good. I get hyped up." And I talked about this being the shiny syndrome, the shiny object syndrome. So there's that. Plus, there's the new year, new month, new week, new day sort of thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, to jump on the bandwagon for." A new diet, a new meal plan, a new exercise plan, beginning of the year. We see it every January. That's why I keep talking about this, because there's more to it, and everybody likes to think it's so simple. But if it was so simple, then we wouldn't be constantly restarting, right? Like Coach Lisa and I talk about lifestyle, how to make the change in your lifestyle. And I have a feeling that a lot of people, they're hearing, well, I'll just make this one switch for this more short time period. Because we get a lot of this, and this is one of the reasons why I'm addressing this. We get a lot of this. People are like, "Oh, but it's the weekend. Oh, but I have a vacation. But it's my birthday. Oh, there's an anniversary coming. Oh, it's summer holiday. Oh, the kids are out of school." And all of those excuses and reasons lead people into falling off the wagon, as we like to say. So the whole idea behind what Coach Lisa and I do is to help you understand the habits that you have, the ones that are holding you stuck, and then we're going to talk about today about why. Like, what is it that's holding you? So I want to talk about all the things, even as simple as decluttering and moving through that. So everybody has that one drawer, that one closet, boxes, whatever it is that may be, in order to like move forward. So what happens is, when you look at a mindset perspective, if you're having clutter around your house, like your desk is cluttered, the kitchen counter is cluttered, you constantly got like piles of laundry everywhere, like the house just is unorderly, like I get it. I've had children too. I've had small kids with, they're all small when they start, and they make a mess, and I get it. And I get the whole, like, it's really late, I'm exhausted, I can't think about it, I'm just going to ignore it situation. So I understand that concept, but that pushes through those simple things of like never cleaning out that kitchen drawer. That translates into why you're missing meals, why you're not doing a meal plan, why you're disorganized at the grocery store, why you don't stick to a workout plan. Because it's a habit. It's a habit to let everything be a clutter. It's a habit to be in chaos. It's also a habit to talk yourself into, but I'm stuck. But I'm stuck. And it's such a strong habit that when we talk to people and they want to change, because they're like, "I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to go." And then we all and then there's a solution. But the problem is jumping from the habit to which you're comfortable in to activating the solution. Okay, so we want to talk about, when you're looking at why people do what they do, why do they get stuck? It's usually from perfectionism. So the thought process is, if I can't be perfect and do it perfectly all right now, because there's all or nothing, then I'm not going to do any of it. Okay, so we have that too. That's a that's a built-in system mentally where we're sitting there going, if I can't do all of it right now, it's never going to work. Okay, so this is where we come back to shiny new object syndrome, where it's like, oh, I need to lose 25 pounds. I need to do it by next Wednesday because I just want the weight gone. Like now I'm there. I want to do it. I want to do everything right now. Opposed to understanding that to lose 25 pounds properly, you're looking at a year maximum, 8 months minimum. But the hard part is everybody wants everything now because we're programmed to do that. We're programmed into thinking that I just have to have it. So if you don't see the results in like a week or two or 5 or 6, then all of a sudden it's like, this doesn't work, right? So I'm going to go back to what I said. Coach Lisa and I, we help people develop better lifestyles. In order to do that, we have to look at the base level of the clutter around your house. When you look around, do you see clutter? Do you see things that are disorganized? Okay. Now take a look at, if that's the case, are you consistent with your meals? Do you miss breakfast? Do you skip lunch? Do you dinner's all over the place? Do you go to bed at random times? Are you like working out okay now, but not, but here? Oh, I'm going to get a walk in. Oh, but that, I'll do that later. Like there's no, right? So everything is functioning needs to function in a fashion of a schedule. Think of it as when you have babies, if you had babies, that to get them to sleep, they had to get up at a certain time. You have to feed them. They have to change their diaper. You have to feed them. You have to cuddle. You have to do the things. You have to do the bath time, put them to bed in order to get them on a sleep schedule. We're no different. We're just taller. Our bodies still work the same way. But somehow, somewhere along the line, trauma entered. You knew I was going to talk about it. You guys knew. You guys know I deal with trauma. This is like the whole root of majority of the issues that come through. So, and we hear this all the time. Everybody's like, I don't have any trauma. Okay, I talked about this 100 times. Trauma could be something that's like life-changing, or it could be like death of 1,000 paper cuts. It could be something that was so simple, so small that you bypassed it and you didn't even realize it happened, or you've blocked it out completely and it's just something that landed. It's something that stuck, that hurt. I didn't have time to process it. Life moved fast and it went past, but now it grows. Because every time you have that one little cut, and then maybe nothing happens for like 5 or 6 years, and another little cut, and another cut. It's like compound interest. It grows over time, right? But here's the thing. If you're never looking at the why, like getting to the root issue, because you know that's what we do, then you're never getting to the understanding of like, why do you skip breakfast? Why do you, why do you know that you need to plan meals, but yet can't do it? Okay, so this is the way the brain functions. The brain will work in a fashion in order to get you to the end product the fastest. Okay, my morning. I want to get up, I want to get dressed, and I want to get started. My brain will push me through simplest habits, the ones that I've got built that are deep-seated in my body, and just move me along. Because your brain is meant to do things the most efficient way. Okay, so this is why when we look at building habits and changing them, they're very difficult because your brain is now, we're making your brain go left. Instead of going straight through, we want it to go left. Well, it doesn't know to go left. And it's like repetitively not going left. So here's where we get stuck. Okay, so ideally, you've got trauma that's a block, putting up the roadblocks and the flares. And then we got our habits. Well, that's just like the road's washed out now. What's happening here? So I got flares going, the road's washed out, but I need to get to the other side. What do? I have to like go across the ditch, over the fence, through the forest, avoid the dog, jump the log, go around, come back out the other side of the flood. Oh, there's where I need to be. That's what's happening when you guys, when we say start a new habit. Okay. So, we talked, I'm going to come back to the clutter, right? So all the things that you're putting in the way of what you want to do, there you go. Through the forest, over the log, void the dog, over the fence, past the flood. That's your clutter. So now what we have to do, let the water drain, which is your trauma. Deal with that. So we're going to poke a hole in the road, let all that water drain out, figure out what caused the flood, because that's your trauma. What caused your flood? Then we can get rid of the flares, stories that we tell ourselves, and the obstacles that we throw up there from a habit of being stuck. Now, we have a throughway. Now, once you've learned how to manipulate and how to figure out what's causing the procrastination, which is in fact stopping you from being consistent. So our procrastination is a derivative from fear, fear from anger, anger from whatever your root cause is. So I say all this, and it's a little, I'm trying to not be super technical. I'm trying to get you guys to do a visual of understanding that if you're carrying around anger, if you're carrying around guilt, if you're carrying around shame, if you're carrying all that negative around, I feel stuck, and the stories that we tell ourselves, and I've witnessed it time and again, women, men, people, they will hold on to what they know and double down on what they know before allowing themselves to think of something different and a change. Okay? Because, well, if I double down over here and complain about, well, I have to lose 20 pounds and I don't feel good and I'm so busy and I didn't sleep well, because that's like everybody considers that the norm. It's not normal. It's common. Well, if you don't have that to complain about, who are you talking to? Right. There's a tension in that. I can get attention and sympathy, and I can get the emotional requirements that I'm looking for from the other same people who are also busy and complaining and all of the things. Because over here on this side of the camp, when someone goes, how do you feel? And you're like, I feel great. I feel wonderful. I've never been so happy and joyous in my life. I get up out of bed and I feel awesome. I get so much work done and I'm so relaxed at night that I just get to relax. I don't collapse. I relax. Nobody wants to hear that. None of your friends. I guarantee you, take a poll of your friends and find out how many of them are going to, when you say all that, there's no follow-up question. There's absolutely none. Nobody wants to follow up, oh, how'd you get there? They're going to turn around and be defensive. Well, I was doing this. Because that's our norm. This is the norm. To be defensive against somebody who's feeling good. Because they don't feel good. Because deep down they know they could. But they don't want to. So, how do we cheat the mind? And how do we then make those changes into being consistent? Having our breakfast in the morning, starting our day with a glass of water and some food, then having a coffee. No one's saying take away the coffee. I'm the last person that's going to tell you that. Going to bed at a regular time. Stop skipping dinner or lunch. Because we like when you fall into these habits, you fall into the habit of being stuck. And it's self-sabotaging behavior. And when you're doing your self-sabotaging behavior, it comes from a trauma. You have to figure out which one that is. Because there's a list, and it's too much for me to go into today. So what do? You start recognizing why you do what you do. Why are you stuck? Why are you talking about being stuck? Right? So I've talked about this in other videos. You can find them in the guides. If we continually tell ourselves the same story, we're going to have the same result over and over. if we're not looking at changing one lifestyle habit at a time, because that's what Coach Lisa and I do in our coaching, whether it's like the one-to-one coaching, the group coaching, or the DIY program, that's all the same principles. You're changing one thing at a time so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you just have to focus on one thing until it becomes consistent. That one thing is like a pebble in the pond. It creates ripple effects. And when you have that one thing down, then we start for the next. Like, to be honest, our one-to-one coaching, we're really looking at maximum 3 or 4 habit changes. But those habit changes along the way, or we're understanding the mindset behind why we do what we do. Okay? Not me. I mean, I do all my stuff too. I'm constantly working on myself. But those 4 things that you're changing are like throwing 4 little pebbles in the pond, and the ripple effect in your life, as you guys know, and if you're not sure, go throw a pebble in a pond and see the ripples and how they grow and how they change. They change the surface of that pond, which means you're changing your life. Okay? So when we look at the why, you have to look into the root cause. I don't know what that is. I can't say that to this video, but you guys all know you can book a free call with us and do a consultation to find out like where you're at. Where are you in your health journey? If you're still repeating the same thing that you've been doing for like, the last 5 years, you're not going anywhere. If you're still I hear this all the time. I've gained and lost the same 20 pounds for 10 years. Oh, I just have to lose 5 pounds because I lost it last year, but then I put it on, so now I have to lose it again. Isn't that exhausting? Don't you really want to just lose it and keep it off? Because that's what habit changes does. We're not this is not dieting, and we want to look at, this is why we have to look at why you do. Starting to acknowledge what your habits are. So this is what I suggest. This is an action step for you guys to take. You can, in fact, start writing down what you think are your habits. Definition. Your habits are something that's the things that you do every single day. My habit in the morning. I get up in the morning, I turn off my sound therapy, I turn off my little white noise machine, and I drink my water. That's my first habit. I do it every single morning. And then I pee. There's my habit. And then I get up and I go get some food. Next habit. Then I have my coffee. Next habit. Make a list of what you're doing to see why. Why are you avoiding what is simply part of life? Okay, so if you're looking to clear your mind, you have to clear your space. So I talked about this earlier in the video. Decluttering. Clean out that kitchen drawer. It literally, it's the power of now. If you guys have ever watched Mel Robbins, she talks about this. It's a great book, FYI. It's a recommend read. The Power of Now. If you think about it, don't hesitate. Do it. You've got 5 seconds to react. If you're sitting in the kitchen, you're like, I should clean that up. Get up and do it. The power of now. If you're like, I should do my workout. Great. Get up and do it. Even if it's 10 minutes. Need to walk around the block? It doesn't have to be an epic event. Just move. Just, do the things. So until you're recognizing what your patterns are and what your habits of being stuck, because staying stuck is a habit. We see it time and again. If you've been stuck for more than 6 months, it's a habit. And you're living there. So you want to ask yourself why. Okay, guys, so I'm going to throw this question out for you. Also, for those of you, we have something I think would help in your mindset. We have a mindfulness challenge. If you want the link for that, just in the comments below, put mindset, and I will send you the mindfulness challenge. It helps you become aware of what you're doing and help you make changes. Okay? For those of you who's been watching, I want to thank you for your time, and any questions, comments, you guys know what to do. Hit the love button, hit the like button. And also the question is, what have you been avoiding? What space in your house have you been avoiding to declutter or needs to be decluttered? What are you avoiding in your house that needs to be cleaned up? Let's go with that one. Okay, you guys know what to do. Put it in the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you in 2 weeks.